Hey guys, it's Amber and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. I am super excited to be back with you guys for yet another video in our cast week challenge. And I will admit that I did miss yesterday because I got my hair braided and I really underestimated the amount of time that would take and how tired I would be by the time that was done. So we won't talk about that too much. We're just here for a very special video, which is also very late, but we don't need to talk about that either. So for today's cast video, we are going to be creating a cute autumnal couple in celebration of the first day of fall. So here we are with our two Sims. We are going to create our female Sim first. So this is Miss Jocelyn Whitmore and she is our autumn queen. She loves fall. She always has. It's been her favorite season for as long as she could remember. And she just loves everything about it. For traits, she does have the romantic trait. She's a bookworm and she's also loyal and she has the master chef aspiration. So just to give a little bit of backstory about Jocelyn, she is in her mid-20s and she's been single for a very long time. As a matter of fact, her last boyfriend was like in high school. As she grew into adulthood, she just never really made time for romance and was never really able to find that Sim that kind of brought that romanticness out of her. She has this like ideal of like this fairy tale love. Her parents did have an amazing love story and they are still married today. So they kind of set almost this unrealistic expectation for her that she was worried she would never be able to achieve something like that. So she doesn't really go out of her way to pursue a romance. But she does love to read a good romance book because she is, of course, a bookworm. Also, Jocelyn loves to cook. She used to cook all the time with her grandmother, and that kind of just translated into reminding her of family and spending time with your loved ones. So cooking is almost like a part of her love language. It's something she loves to do. She spent a lot of time doing it, and I think as she gets into a relationship, she's probably going to be bringing forth a lot of gifts and things like that that are food and food themed, because that's just kind of something that she associates with love and caring. Jocelyn is also loyal, so she will do anything for the people that she cares about and her family and her friends. And they do all know that, they recognize that, and they know that Jocelyn would do anything for them. But they do feel like Jocelyn maybe doesn't take quite as much time as she should for herself because she is always kind of giving to those around her. So her best friend decided to set her up with a Sim to go on a date. And Jocelyn got to pick the time and place for the date. And so she decided, as you could kind of see in the first part before we started the Create a Sim video, that they would go to a cute little fall fair. So it is the first day of autumn. So there's this little festival out in Copperdale and she was super excited to go. Her date was down. Like he's a pretty easygoing Sim, so he figured if that's what she wanted to do, that was no problem. So he did go ahead and pick her up and they headed over to the fall fair. As you can see, they enjoyed a little bit of bubble tea. He's never had it, but Jocelyn loves it. It's kind of one of her favorite drinks, so she was helping him pick out one that she thought he would enjoy, and he definitely did. And they had a fun time. They even took a couple photos in the photo booth, and Jocelyn's hoping that it will grow into something more serious and that they can have a little bit of a future together as they get to know each other a little bit better and as the fall goes by. So the male Sim in this little group, his name is Leon, and Leon has the soulmate aspiration. He's a child of the ocean, he's a perfectionist, and he's lazy, which I think is an interesting set of traits. So Leon is actually not a fall boy. He's definitely more of a summer Sim. He grew up in Sulani, and so he spent a lot of time outside surfing, enjoying the ocean, things like that. But he did need to move for his job, so he's kind of landed in San Sequoia for now. He is a teacher. He does love his students and he kind of loves working with them. He's a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to kind of that sort of thing, teaching and education, but he's a little bit lazy when it comes to everything else. He doesn't like to clean. He kind of doesn't take the best care of himself, so he's a little bit lazy in that regards. But Leon is also a hopeless romantic. He, unlike Jocelyn, hasn't really had that perfect love story to see. He's never really seen that. His parents' relationship failed when he was very young, so he didn't get to grow up with that kind of love story. So he's always dreamed of having that because he's never seen it. It's the opposite of Jocelyn, right? He's always imagined that true love must exist and that maybe one day he could find it. So when his friend wanted to set him up with a sim, he was game. Leon's been single for a while as well. He did have one very long-term serious relationship, but it really broke down, and that sim kind of got tired of some of Leon's lazier ways, and also they kind of wanted different things. Leon really wants a family, and he wants to become a parent, and the white picket fence, 2.5 kids and a dog, and his partner just wasn't interested in that. So Leon had to move on, and so now he is single and he is set up with Jocelyn. So when Jocelyn proposed, they go to the fall festival. Leon's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, fall's not necessarily my favorite, but if you like it, I like it too. And he enjoyed the bubble tea, and he definitely enjoyed his time with Jocelyn. He thinks that she has a very enigmatic personality. She really kind of took him by surprise almost with just how full of life and personality she is. It's been a long time since he's met someone that's so bubbly and happy in the way that Jocelyn is. Jocelyn just has kind of this authentic energy that seems to really come from within, and Leon was very impressed with that, and he really enjoyed it. So that's kind of the story for these two as they begin their relationship. And of course, in the background, I've been creating our girl Jocelyn. As you can probably assume, she has a lot of fall kind of warm colors, so a lot of browns, oranges, a little bit of yellow, but mostly browns and oranges actually. And this is a different skin tone than I would typically use, but I am pretty happy with it. I think she looks really good, and I don't know, she's very cute. I think she might look like all my other Sims, to be honest. Maybe all my Sims do just always look the same, but I'm really happy with how she turned out. I think she just has a very feminine aesthetic that I really enjoy, and I really want to use that sweater that I used on her. So I think it kind of fits. And then for Leon, I wanted to go with something a little bit different. I kind of had already planned that he was going to be more of a summer sim. His favorite season would be summer, as opposed to Jocelyn's fall fantasies. So she's kind of trying to bring him over to being a fall guy. But for right now, he still has a little bit of that summer energy. So I wanted to kind of reflect that in his design. So he's got the long wavy hair. And I don't know, just kind of reminds me of Island, and it reminds me of Sulani, so I think that's kind of what I was going for there. He has freckles from being out in the sun, whereas Jocelyn's not out in the sun. I don't know if you guys remember when I did the story mode video where it was the great outdoors is outside and I'm inside. Jocelyn's definitely would answer that question the same way. Jocelyn's inside, so she doesn't really have to worry about what's outside, whereas Leon is definitely outside having fun in the sun. So he's kind of got more of a tan and some freckles just to kind of show that. But I think it's really cute that they have a little bit of differences when it comes to the two of them, and it makes their story, I think, a little bit more interesting that they're not both exactly the same. They do both kind of share passions for similar things. I mentioned that Leon's a teacher, but Jocelyn's also in education. She also works at the high school, though she is actually a counselor and works with that. She is considering going back and potentially trying to get a higher degree so that she can get into administration and maybe become a principal or something like that. But for right now, she is a counselor who helps the students as they're preparing to go to a university. So that's kind of how they got set up. They got set up by both of their teacher friends, since they're, both single, and Jocelyn's pretty new in town. Leon's been here for a little bit longer than her, but not much. So that's kind of how they ended up getting set up in the first place. So for Leon at this point in time, I was still going for the idea of him being like a fall sim. So it's like dual fall sims. I think I didn't realize until I was doing his sleepwear because I was using something from one of the kits. I honestly don't even remember which one. I guess it's like the underwear kit I saw, and it was like coral and teal, and I just thought that was so cute. Like, look at those colors, like that's so cute. So I was like, oh, you know what, I should go back and kind of adjust his color palette and make him more of a summer sim, and so they can have a little bit of distinction between the two of them, a little bit of difference, kind of a different set of interest. Plus his athletic wear was like way easier once I decided that, so I was super happy with that. I'm actually really happy with how Leon turned out. I know we talked about it a couple times this week already, but male sims are not my forte, and so I think he's pretty cute. So I have to say, I think I'm getting better, and I think that's kind of one of the key things about The Sims and playing is that you just kind of have to take yourself out of your comfort zone sometimes and get into something a little bit different, and I think that I was able to do that here. I also am playing around a little bit with doing a little more like gameplay coordinated into this. So like at the beginning of this video, we had like a little bit of an intro. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that. Like, do you like it? Should I make some adjustments to it? It's something that I think as I get more accustomed to doing it, I'll be able to do a little bit better. Like, I'm not good with changing angles and all that kind of stuff when it comes to editing, but I'm hoping that I will be able to improve with that and incorporate that a little bit more. I also want to, in general, incorporate more storytelling here on the channel. I try to do that, but my gameplay doesn't always lend itself to the best storytelling. So I'm going to try to do that a little bit better and incorporate a little more story and lore with all of my sims. It is something I really enjoy when I'm watching other simmers, so it's something that I'm hoping that I can develop and do a little bit more of here on the channel as well. But basically this is the end of this create a sim. I'm going to finish up the outfits for Leon, but I don't really have that much else. There is just a little bit more when it comes to their story, kind of right at the end, where we can see if they maybe have a happy ending or not, which I'm sure you guys can probably guess which way that's gonna go. But hey, who am I to ruin both of their fairy tale endings? If both our little cuties want their fairy tale love, why wouldn't I give it to them? So I'm showing the last of Leon's outfits, and then I will give them the traits. I know we already talked about them, but I'll name them and give them their traits. And then we'll hop into these sweeties' cute little ending. But you guys have to let me know what you think about this video. Do you like the way I did this video? Do you like this style of Create a Sim? I'd be interested to hear y'all's opinions, and anything else that you guys want to share. What are you doing to celebrate the first day of fall? Let me know down below. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching, as absolutely always, and I will see you all next time. Bye.